Hello everyone, hope all is well and welcome back. So in this video I'm going to be reviewing and demoing this look you see right here using the new Anastasia Beverly Hills Norvina collection palette. So this palette has 25 shades in it. There's a lot of mattes and shimmers in here and it retails for $60 USD. So all my opinions and review will be at the end of this video. I'm just giving you the facts right now. So before we get into it, I would love for you to subscribe if you aren't already. It means so much to me, and let's get to it. I just have foundation on right now. I'm doing a 3-day wear test of the new Anastasia foundation. So you'll see that one very soon, or maybe even before this video. I'm not sure which one's going up first. And I was just looking at this palette for the last like 20 minutes and I have no idea what kind of look I want to create. I've been really into the fall tones right now. Fall time is my favorite. I love the sweaters and just like being cozy. I really hate summer clothes, so I'm so ready to get into the cozy sweaters and stuff. But I am eyeing these two shades right here, and the day I did receive this palette in the mail, I tried out those two shades just playing out with the palette, and they look identical once they're on the eye. Here, I'll swatch them quick. This is C5 right here, and this is E5. So they look very, very similar. This one's just a little bit more red, and this one's a little bit more brick. But once they're on the eye, they're the same. So there's not really any transition shades in here. So I'm going to be dipping into my bronzer. I'm using the Fenty Beauty In the Sun, and I'm gonna put that into the crease. And I did prime my eyes with the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Concealer. Now I'm going to dip into the shade C5 right here, and I'm using a Nabla pointed crease brush. I really love this Nabla eye set. I highly recommend it. It comes with such beautiful tiny brushes to get those details. These are very, very powdery. Just gonna show you. I don't really mind kickback usually, but this is a little bit crazy. But I just like lightly dusted my brush on there and it just like, and I'm first going to get the angle of the outer corner. I'm thinking of putting this all over the lid, but I just want to grab the angle first. So I'm going to work on the outer corner first. And I'm going to take this Sonia Kashuk brush. I'm not sure which number it is. I'm just going to get the angle of the lower lash line as well. Then I'm going to wipe off that little Nabla brush and just start blending that harsh edge out. That did blend out quite nicely for being such a pigmented shade, so that's good. Because sometimes when shades are so pigmented, they're kind of difficult to blend out, but that's not a problem with this one. I'm going to take this Nabla Soft Dab and Smudge brush, and I'm going to pick up that same shade and just pack it onto the lid. And I'm going to take that Nabla pointed crease brush again and just soften the crease. It's definitely a little bit patchy. It's not really grabbing on to my lid or the primer very nicely. Like I didn't set my primer. This is a Smith 230 brush. Just I want a little bit more of a diffused look right here. It's kind of dusting off and becoming not as pigmented as I wanted it to be. So I might dip into one of the shimmer shades just to fix that. While I'm here, I'm gonna take that same shade and bring it all the way across. I'm going to soften the edges of that with the pointed crease brush. I'm going to take a little bit of bronzer just to soften that even more. I think I might have to deepen up the outer corner just a little bit. And for that I'm going to go into D5, which is the black, and C5. I'm just going to kind of dip in between the two. Mostly C5, so I'm going to first into C5, just a little bit of D5, and back into C5 just to kind of mix them up. Tap that off a little bit and then just start gradually building the tone up here because I don't want it to be super, super black. I just want it to be a darker tone of that C5. I'm now going to go into one of the shimmer shades, and I will say these are very, very stunning. This is a very stunning formula of shimmer shades. I just swatched them quickly here. They're very, very reflective, especially this gold. It's so beautiful. But this one looks really, really cool too. All of them, they're really gorgeous. But the only thing is that there's not many matte shades to really support those tones. I really feel like you'd need to dip into another palette to really support these shades, which is kind of annoying since there are so many shades in this palette. I'm going to use this shade C3. I feel like that one, I don't know, I feel like that monochromatic kind of look today. So I'm just gonna apply that with my finger first. And I just wiped off this Nabla brush that I was just using, the packing one, and I'm gonna pick some of that up, dampen it a little bit because I don't want it to crumble. And then I'm going to take that other Nabla brush with a little bit of it just to soften up the edges. Okay, I actually really like how that looks. I really like how this look turned out, actually. So I'm going to go quickly catch this eye up to speed and put on some lashes and mascara, and I'll be right back. Here are the eyes all done. I also did my brows quickly. I absolutely love how these eyes turned out. I think it's so fun, super fall looking. I did have some difficulty right over here building up the depth with the D5 and C5 shades mixed together. This side worked a lot better. I did the exact same thing with the same brushes and everything, but it just turned out a little bit patchy for some reason. That's the only thing. It was a little bit more difficult to work with. And the lashes I used are the Velour Run the World lashes, part of their new collection. Looking straight ahead, it looks super awesome. It really matches the tone of my shirt really nicely. But for me personally, when I look at the palette, these are the tones I use today are the only ones that really draw me into this palette. I don't super love purples personally, or any of the primary tones. For me, like, I already have that in a Sugar Pill palette that I prefer way more. They do colored eyeshadows right, in my opinion. Plus the primary blue in here is sparkly, which I don't know why, I don't know. But if you are looking for similar tones like the ones I used today, I would recommend the Melt Baby Girl stack. I'm gonna hold it like this so you can see a little bit better. But the tones that are very similar to the ones I'm wearing right now are this one right here and this shimmer shade right here. Very, very similar. So if you really want this kind of a tone look, I would recommend this stack. Those shades are a lot easier to build up because they have a little bit of creaminess. These ones I feel like are super dry for some reason, in my opinion. I don't know. I'm going to continue the rest of my face, and for my bronzer I'm going to use this Guerlain Terracotta palette, and I'm going to be using the deepest shade right here on the Smith 115 brush. And for my highlighter, I'm going to use the new Benefit Cookie highlighter. I actually really like this one. I wore it yesterday for the wedding I went to, and it was super, super, it's very intense, but not glittery at all. It just looks like a really intense sheen. And I'm going to be applying that with this brush right here, the BH Cosmetics, and it's my Ray Ray number 5 brush. And I'm just going to twirl it onto the skin. And I'm also going to apply that as my inner corner and brow bone highlight with this BH Cosmetics number 11 brush from the Festival collection, the one with the neon handles. And then for my blush, I'm going to be using the Nude Sticks Nudies in the shade In the Nude. It's a perfect tone for this. It's kind of one of those brick tone peachy shade, kind of. I don't know, it's just like the perfect tone for this look. And I'm gonna blend that out with my finger. I'm actually going to blend it out with this Nude Sticks Blend and Buff brush. And for the lips, I really feel like diving into the fall vibes, so I'm going to be using their ABH liquid lipstick in the shade Bittersweet. Yeah, that is a good color for this look. I think it's really fun. It matches my shirt perfectly and it ties in the whole look. I think it's very intense, but I love it. So this is the final look. I absolutely love how it turned out. Anyways, now moving on to the review and my opinions about this launch. I personally, when I first received this, I was a little bit disappointed in the launch, more so because of the amount of launches they've been coming out with lately. I feel like they just launched the Jackie Aina palette like last week. I feel like they should have let the Jackie Aina palette have its moment for a little while longer. I have such a deep love for the Anastasia brand because they were the first brand to reach out to me and put me on their PR. So everything that I have by them is very sentimental to me. But lately, I've just been feeling really disappointed. I really miss the days that their launches felt so special and exciting, and their products were always so like revolutionary and trendy. They were the first ones to come out with the duochrome holographic type highlighters, and their palettes were so revolutionary. Like Subculture was a really cool palette, even though people didn't really love the formula. Just the layout and how the tones and stuff like that was really awesome. Same with Modern Renaissance, like that was such a cult classic, and I feel like you don't really get that feeling with their new products anymore. I kind of wish that they would take a step back from saturating the market and really get back to those really making it really special. That's why I really love brands like Natasha Denona and Pat McGrath, because I feel like you can really see the love for their products and the love that they put into their launches. Even though that Natasha Denona, she does come out with a lot of products, but it's not like always eyeshadow palettes after eyeshadow palettes. It's kind of, she'll kind of do a mix. She'll do like a complexion product, then an eyeshadow palette, then a face palette, then lipsticks. Like, it's very well rounded. Like, it never feels like the same thing over and over again. I really miss the days when you're like, oh my gosh, did you see the new Anastasia palette? And everyone's like, yeah, Subculture or everything, it looks so amazing. And now it's like, oh my gosh, have you seen the new Anastasia palette? And it's like, yeah, which one? Jackie Aina, the Norvina, Riviera, Alyssa Edwards. Like, I feel like there's a new palette every month, and it's really hard to keep up and feel inspired by that. I don't really love the direction it's going in. I don't know how to feel about it. I just feel really disappointed personally. Also, when I received the palette, I was feeling a little bit iffy, so I posted on my Instagram stories and I was like, how is everyone feeling about this palette? And 1 out of 400 plus DMs said they liked it, which was really hard to believe. When I look at this palette, I really feel like it's just thrown together for me. Like, it doesn't really make sense. There's a lot of purples again. I'm really tired of them coming out with purples now. I know it's Norvina's favorite color, like, I get that, but for me personally, and I know a lot of people aren't really into the purples, and they've been pushing a lot of that out lately. Looking at this, it really isn't cohesive to me. It kind of stresses me out. There's like no good flow. Like, my eye kind of jumps around harshly, and I don't really know what tones really go well. I do really love the tones I used today, but they aren't the most exciting ones. Like, there are some really unique shades in here, but I feel like the color of the packaging really takes away from the colors in here as well, and just the layout, I don't know, it overwhelms me. Usually with ABH, their stuff is very well thought out and you can see the love through it, but the last few launches I really didn't feel that. Like, I really felt that for the Alyssa Edwards and Jackie Aina palette, but I know that's because it was a collab and most of that love is from Alyssa Edwards and Jackie Aina. And I will say that a lot of these shades, once they're on the eye, they're gonna look identical. I was blending them out on my skin, like all of these purples, they will look identical. Like these three right here, hardly any difference. These two right here, hardly any difference. And when I first received it and I was feeling a little bit disappointed, I was like, you know what, let me just start playing with it, see some looks. And I did a look with these two shades right here, trying to build up the depth, and they looked identical as well. I do think the shimmers in here are absolutely stunning, but like I said earlier, like there's not really many shades to support it. And there's like, I really feel like this palette, you need to have other palettes to make this work. Like you don't have any transition shades. I did do the trick with the bronzer, but sometimes you don't want to use like a brown. It's sad that you have to dip into another palette when this palette has so many shades. I don't know, I find this one hard to recommend, but it's not like it's a horrible palette. Like the formula is okay. If you are really drawn to some of the tones in here, like it's not a horrible palette. Like go for it if you really feel like you want it. But for me personally, I don't think it's going to stay in my collection for that long, just because I don't see myself ever thinking about this palette. Like I have so many other palettes I'd reach for more colorful shadows anyways. Like I would 1,000 times recommend you more, if you want some colorful shadows, to go for Sugar Pill. Even though that they are a little bit more expensive, if you want like the best colorful shadows, definitely go to Sugar Pill, because they have amazing quality. I just ordered their little fun size palette as well as their new shades, so I'm excited for those to come in. I don't know, I just feel disappointed, you guys. I know I kind of roasted this palette. I feel really bad. I don't know. Let me know how you guys feel about it. This is my personal opinion about it. I don't know, I don't love it. And I really hate that I don't love it. But anyways, that is all for me today, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you would like to see next in the comments down below. I'll make sure to link all the products I used today. And before I go, I would love for you to subscribe if you aren't already, and give this video a like if you liked it. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye!